Hi there. In last lecture, we have been fetching all of our products from our localhost 4000 GraphQL server. In this lecture, we'll be working more on our fetch API because we need to separate it into its own file, and also we need to check for the errors. Okay, let's do it. Let's go back here, and as you can see, currently our fetch API is in our get all products, not very reusable. We should create separate file, separate module for it. Okay, so let's do it. Let's open here the files. And we'll create this folder in our framework Shopify in a utils. And in a utils, I will create a new file, okay? So in a utils folder, new file, and let's call it fetch-api.ts. Fetch-api.ts, like this. Okay, in our from our get all products, I will copy const fetch API, also with a type. So let's copy this one here. Let's remove it. Okay, I'll put it just to middle so it's easier for you to read, but you should have it on the top. Let's go to our fetch API and let's paste it here and let's export default our fetch API. So up here, or actually down here, export default fetch API. Perfect. And that's basically it. No issues here. We can go to our get all products and we'll import here simply fetch API. So let's import here fetch API from. Need to go outside of this folder, utils, and fetch API. Amazing. So now everything should work as before. No changes, just moving files and the code around. Okay, save it up, refresh here, and verify everything is working. Okay, now we'll check for the error. So in a case you will make some issue or make some a typo in a query, you should see the error immediately. So let's check for the errors. Okay, this we'll do in a fetch API. All right, so as we are getting here data from this JSON, what I can actually do here, I can destructurize here data by default. So I can write here destructurization. I can, from a response, I can get the data. And also what I can get here now is the errors. Okay, so I can simply extract from here errors. On the errors, you should see GraphQL errors if you will get any. I will show you soon the GraphQL error. But to throw the error, we need to write here if statement. And we need to check if we have errors. If we have errors, I would like to throw here new error like this. And as the message to error, we will provide the errors a message. On the errors is actually the array of the messages, and the first message should be most descriptive in one. Also, we can iterate through the messages if it's necessary. But for now, I will just write here errors like this. I will access here first element on the errors. It should be first error. And you should be able to access on this error message like this. But there is no guarantee that you will have an array of the errors and also you will have their message. So you should go with the fallback option, and you can specify fallback option with a double question mark. And I will explain it very shortly. What does it mean? And let's write here errors dot message. Okay, so if I don't have an array, I will try to extract a message from the errors itself, because in that case it can be object. All right, so let's explain this line here. So in a case, this line in a case will be null or undefined, and then I will go with this option here. I will show you in the browser soon this, but if this is null or undefined, let's go with the right hand operation here, this right hand expression. Okay, let's save it now, and let's try to introduce here error. So the easiest way would be just get all products here and just to malform the query. So let's say edges, and I will write here, let's say double e's. Okay, so like this, there shouldn't be any edges defined in a GraphQL server. So by type like this. So let's save it now. Let's go back to browser. And you can see here, immediately we are seeing here error, cannot query field edges on type product connection. Did you mean edges? Okay, so we can see immediately straight away where we are getting error, and also it's showing the line where this error is thrown from. Okay, so here it is. Perfect, so our error handling working just great. I will go back to our fetch API. I will, oh, not this. Okay, we want to go to queries and we would like to fix it. So we are getting here normal edges like this. Okay, and when it's saved, we can verify everything is working. After refresh, perfect, everything is working. Okay, so what I want to do now is just to show you this double question mark operator. I will open for console for this. And okay, so we have a, let's say, variable. I will call it test. To a test, I will assign, let's say, null, double question mark, or hello world. What do you think you will get here? Since first-hand expression before question marks is null, you will go with a second-hand expression. So if your data are null or undefined, you are going with a second expression. It's like a fallback option. So now when I access here test, you can see I have here hello world. Similarly, I will create here a new variable test2. If I will go with the undefined double question mark, I will get here hello world. Okay, fallback option. I will show you now test3. This is not applying for a false values and zeros or empty strings. So when I will write here, let's say false, test3 will be false. Okay, because this is still valid operation. False is still valid value. So I will get here still test3 will be false. Okay, I'm going first with the first operation. When I will access here, let's say test4, and I will access here 0 or double question mark here, I will go with the 0 value because 0 is valid value. Test4, you'll see we are getting here 0. There is one very similar operator, double pipes operator, which is working similarly, but also is not checking so strictly. Okay, so when I will show you const test5. All right, I will assign here false double pipe, and I will say here hello world. Hello world. So now what you should see here, the test5 will be hello world because false is recognized as a false value. So you're going with the second expression in this case. So that's the difference between the double question and the double pipe operator. So you will see here now test5 will be hello world because the first expression is not recognized as a valid one. The same as if I would have here, let's say test6, and I will get here 0 or hello world. The test6 should be now hello world. Okay, so that's the difference. The double question mark is checking only for nulls and undefined, but the test6 is more to say test6. The double pipe operator is not so strict. It's also checking it's not checking for a zeros. It's checking for a zeros. It's checking for a false values and also for empty strings. Okay, maybe I'll write it down somewhere so it's more visible. So okay, we are using it here first time, so I'll write here. Okay, it's checking if first expression or left-hand expression is null or undefined. Okay, then it goes if it is, go with right expression. Okay, so it's like a fallback option. Okay, so it's checking for if left-hand. Okay, it's checking if left-hand expression is null or undefined. Then you have a double pipes is checking if a left-hand expression is null, undefined, empty string, 0, false. Okay, so it's checking for all these values, this OR operator. All right, guys, so that should be it. This is just small off topic. Let's continue in the next lecture. See you there.